Hi everyone, and Jack here. It's a pleasure to make my debut on the Betting Weekly newsletter, and I have a futures play to go alongside what we've had already from Nigel in the tennis and Steve in the Champions League. And my eyes have been drawn to the Premier League and particularly into the relegation market. And Bet Rivers have effectively limited this market down to 6 contenders as far as the odds are concerned. And I think we can eliminate a couple of that to make this a 4-horse race. First up, favourites, Southampton. Odds of minus 625. Bet Rivers think they're already doomed. I have to agree with them. In fact, I think there's still a little bit of juice in plus 140 for them to finish bottom of the table. We flagged them up at the start of the season at plus 300. They've only been trimmed to plus 140. I wouldn't put anyone going off there, but that's not the selection here. The next two selections in the market are Ipswich at minus 177. And Leicester at minus 137, the two other newly promoted sides. We can understand why that is the case. Next up are the two I want to eliminate. Wolves at plus 165. They have had a brutal start to the season as far as their fixtures are concerned. That's changing now. Slightly easier fixtures. Expect the points to come. They've got a couple of goal scorers. They've also got a highly thought of manager that we think can get them out of trouble. And the same applies for Everton, who are next in the market at plus 250. Sean Dyche in charge. They've got Dwight McNeil in a new role, which is creating goals and scoring goals, and a watertight defence, meaning they don't have to do too much going forward to pick up those crucial points. And they've really only been involved in the relegation zone previously because of the point deductions. Avoid that this season, they'll be just fine. Which brings me on to my selection. Crystal Palace at plus 335. That's an implied odds of 23% on them getting relegated. And I think the odds are a lot higher than that to get sucked into trouble and potentially go down. And the reasons why, well, they're currently third from bottom. They've had a terrible start to the season. They're only on 7 points. They've managed just one win so far, and that came against the Spurs side that just didn't show up. Pretty much the same record as Ipswich have got. They've only beaten Spurs as well, yet they're 1 place and 1 point higher than Palace. But look at the odds difference. Minus 177 to plus 335. It's quite huge, to be fair. Now, Palace have already lost to Forest, to Everton, to West Ham, and they've drawn Wolves and Leicester. And I said they've only just won one game at home this season. They've lost 3 of their 6 already. And Selhurst Park used to be their fortress. That's where they picked up their points. Not this season so far. Their main problems, scoring goals. They sold Michael Elise in the summer. They've not replaced him properly. They've only scored 8 goals. Only Southampton with 7 have scored fewer. And their replacements, Ismail Assar and Eddie Nketiah, have got the grand total of 0 assists and 0 goals between them. They're in big, big trouble. Ezer's out injured. Wharton's been out injured, and they sold Anderson as well. Big problems for them. And I'm looking at the fixtures coming up before Christmas here as a reason to get on board with them now. So I'm putting this up now. Look at the fixtures coming up before Christmas. These odds are going to change dramatically. We can see who they've got. They've got to play some really tough games. Aston Villa, Newcastle, Manchester City, Brighton and Arsenal all before Christmas Day. There's only one team they've got who are currently in the bottom third of the table, and that's an away game at Ipswich Town. If they lose that one, which they could well do, Palace are in big, big trouble. Not only that, their manager's in big, big trouble as well. And we've seen this scenario before where a manager comes in for Palace, has a good first season, and then bombs in the second season. And Glasner is right in that situation at the moment. So Palace at plus 335, my tip for relegation in the futures market in the Premier League. Thanks for listening to the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Enjoy the rest of the Betting Weekly newsletter. And thanks for subscribing to that. And also, don't forget, make sure you're subscribing to our YouTube channel at Because We Win. Loads and loads of new subscribers coming on board there. Regular content across the week. Of course, the shows are back this week. The European show with Steve, with James and with Dan. And the Betting Weekly Premier League show with myself, with Nigel and with Dan back as well this week. And of course, always tune in on our Twitter channel and YouTube channel for the live shows at 11 a.m. Eastern from Monday to Friday. Thanks for subscribing. Enjoy the rest of your newsletter.